Hey guys, welcome to the Factual Podcast with me, RHB slash Runaway Facts slash Valiant Facts with Mackie121, also known as Australian Overwatch Facts.
Hello, everyone.
He is the worst admin on there out of him and
Okay,
Aussie.
thank you. You're welcome.
Um, we will be doing basically a power rankings. Shock Facts could not join us, so we'll be doing it by ourselves. And on this podcast, you'll hear me convince you that Valiant are a top two team. Just
Mm-hmm.
kidding, I'm incredibly biased.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
Okay, how do we want to do this?
okay, I think we should start at our bottom teams. I'm just going to do one real quick thing. Um, so, I think we'll start from the bottom by revealing our bottom picks. That's what most people do, so... Um,
Yeah. From memory, I think we have the same one.
it is highly likely that we have the same one, yes. And
Yes,
let me just reveal them for you.
an
And they're both the
actual
opposing.
garbage team. Yeah,
They're both the
actual
opposing.
garbage team.
I
So
have
what?
I have no faith in them.
Neither do I. So what? Muthen, they have. Okay, the
I'll show
starting
you.
is
I
going
can
to
show
be.
you. We have here
Alright.
color
Main tank,
hex. We have color hex axiom.
the good player.
Yes, color hex the good player. Um, then we got color hex axiom fusions Myungbong, Jerry, Muthen, Swimmer, Munchkin, and Brucin. Now,
Okay.
um, I don't have faith in this team at all. I
The
don't.
only thing I have faith in is the support line. That is the only
Yes,
thing I
the
have faith
support
in.
line is pretty good. Um,
Like, like Myeongbong, top player in Korean contenders, may beat Runaway a couple times. Big achievement for him. Swimmer overall good main support, good at Lucio, good at Mercy, good at Ana, good at Baptiste. Like, got everything.
mm. Yes, so I've seen comments that Myungbong is better than, um, well, all of Valiant combined. Um, may or may not be
Yeah,
true. As of the
definitely
new
not true.
pickups,
Lastro's better.
I'd say out of the new pickups, well, after the new pickups, that's probably not true, but um, yeah,
Lastro's better than Youngblood.
this is going to be a theme, isn't it?
Yes.
Is he going to be
What?
better than Jonak? Better than Twilight?
No,
Better than Violet?
no, no.
Okay. Uh,
Alarm will be.
Anyway, so Keller Hex, he's a great player. He
Yeah,
hits nutty flicks.
and
I
he's also a very good flexible player. Jerry, he's just shit.
Jerry, I
I'm
don't even
sorry.
remember what he plays. He plays
He
Sombra, Widow,
played.
and Diva. Yes, that makes
He was an
sense.
off-tank player, and when he played for Meta Athena, they didn't win a single game. When he was on DPS,
Hmm.
it was trash. Munchkin, I'm sorry, you just played Tracer and Widow, and you weren't even that good at it.
He was pretty alright.
Yeah.
Um,
Mufin, he's played one official match, and that was for Envy, so I can't comment on his play. Axiom played one game all last season, and they lost to Shanghai. Fusions, I'm sorry, you're just not good anymore. Like,
yeah,
cool,
no,
you're
can't
good
play Reinhardt. That's big of a problem, you know.
unless they put Bruce in. No. Yeah, his Winston isn't even that great.
Dude,
His
they have
ball is.
Axiom.
Yeah, I know. Axiom
He
only
can play main tank.
probably,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Oh,
Bruce
oh,
and
actually, I'd put him on Zarya, to be honest.
just because that worked in stage one.
I don't think it
Bruce's,
worked in stage one, but anyway.
bro, they beat you. Bruce's,
That was Calahex. That was
I think
Calahex, not
they went
Axiom.
like 1-2 with, no, 2-1 with
They did
Axiom. Sorry.
surprisingly well against NYXL, and then
Yeah.
something else happened. I don't remember.
Yeah. So let's get to
And then they
Bruce's.
lost to yeah, Bruceans. I don't
Yeah. Know
don't
anything about it?
really
Yep,
know
same.
that much. I
Mineral
mean,
with shit on
this
Mayhem's.
if you look
Sorry.
at this, but he's got a pretty decent record from World Cup, you know, coming fifth through
Yeah.
sixth, losing to France, but that was a really strong roster. So he's pretty decent.
Mm.
For um, I
Still
guess
better off tanks out there.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of good Koreans that
I would
exist.
even say like someone like Happy Cool.
Half Eagle's probably better. Yeah, he's
That's bomb
probably
Happy.
better at DPS as well. Just playing that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, okay. So yeah, we established boss and
so
shit.
there's not much more to say about this. They're
Yeah.
trying to pull off season one for the third season in a row. Um,
Mhm.
and I don't think it's gonna work. You don't think it's gonna work. Looking over here at all these stats here, no one thinks it's gonna work.
Okay, let's go to our number 19th prediction.
Our next predictions. Let's see who they are. And I'm pretty sure we differ here, which
Yes, we do.
is Valiant and Hunters. Okay, I'm gonna let you talk about Hunters first, because
So,
that's more interesting to me.
no, no, you talk
Oh
about
wait, sorry.
Valid first.
One last thing for our rankings. Is it safe to say that we can put Uprising in last place?
Yeah, yes, that's obvious.
We are putting Uprising in last place. Okay.
Sorry, I need just let me get Chengdu's roster up for a second.
Okay.
So I
Well, I'll
actually
show
didn't
you.
have
Here
it.
it is.
No, I've
Chengdu,
got
they
that.
have Kyo, Yveltal, Elsa,
Yeah, they're decent.
Late Young,
Eh,
Ameng,
nah.
Bacon Jack, Jinmu, Leave, Ating, Molly, and Lengsa.
Okay.
And then their coaches, they have Gary and the rest of these
Ray.
guys. They've got Ray and Dokkaebi. Dokkaebi? Dokkaebi. And that's their
Dokkaebi.
co-head coaches. The last co-head coaches we had was Fusion, and they did all right, but like they probably could
No
have
one
done
likes
better.
them. Fight me, Fusion fans.
I didn't like Fusion, but they probably,
No, I don't.
Anyway,
Okay,
so
so Bacon Jack, Jinmu, and Leaf. That's a pretty good DPS line.
yeah, I
But
really
if you,
highly rate Jinmu and Leaf together. I think they'll
yes,
be really good.
like that's not my concern. My concern comes out of the tanks
Yep,
because
I can see that.
okay, Elsa, his best hero last season was Sombra. He can't play that anymore. Late Young, he barely fucking played, and when he played, he was not good at all. Ameng, he has
He's a
never
ball
played
one trick.
Winston.
He's pretty much a ball one trick. Yeah.
He's not that good at Orisa. He's not that good at Ryan. A thing I don't know much about when I made my
Same.
predictions. He wasn't on the roster. Don't rate him still.
His
Yvette,
previous record isn't looking that good. I mean, he did pretty well in what's it called, Hong Kong Attitude, and then
yeah,
um,
the whole Hong Kong attitude team was nutty. Okay, then you got the supports. Kia Vettel, good support duo. Molly Langser, I don't know much about them. Again, we
Kia
played last.
Yveltal. Um, I feel that they are probably hyped up a bit too much.
You bet. Keo is Yvettal is very good though.
Yveltal's pretty good, but his best hero is Mercy. So anyway,
Yeah, it
I have
also
them.
coming out.
You'll see my prediction. They're a little higher,
Okay,
little higher, but
coming and like in this meta, can Yvettal play Baptiste? I'm not sure. Like, and yeah. Now,
it's true.
let's
That's true.
see your
They do,
Valiant 19.
but remember they have Molly and Linksa.
Oh wait, and also the whole reason they were so good last year is because they caught everyone off with their coaching. Like their coaching made them good at non-meta comps. They don't have that without Coach really anymore. They've
Yeah,
got they got
RUI,
Doc,
he's out personal
and they've got
reasons. But
yeah.
hey,
Well, yeah, he's now a streamer for Billy because he couldn't deal with constantly moving for his health. So
hmm.
that's fair.
You have
Um,
to remember they have Molly and Linksa now, who will be a new support duo. One of them could probably play BAP, I'm
yeah.
sure.
But then, would you want your team captain out of the team?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how true these captaincy things are. I mean,
Sure, sure.
if you look at Dallas Fuel, Harry Hook's the captain, but he's been benched for quite a while.
Yeah, because Styles are trash.
Same with NYXL, for that matter. They played quite a while without SBB. He's definitely the captain. But anyway,
Um, yeah,
I
Gary was not a good player for them, and Ray was a previous coach, and don't know much about doctoring. Yeah, they
yeah,
have to show that they can play meta though. Like that's all I'm saying. Like you can't just not play meta all season this season now.
yeah. However, with this new meta coming in, there is one advantage that they have, and that is the ball comp. Now, I have them rated a lot higher. I'm not actually exactly sure where they are, but the ball comp, they have one of the world's, you know, better. He's pretty good at ball, Um, played it for quite a while, but
Yeah,
he could play ball pretty easily. Um,
yeah.
I don't know if Leaf plays Tracer. He seems to, so I
Bacon
mean,
Track can
I
play it.
imagine he could play everything, so it doesn't
Yeah,
really matter. But
yeah.
he could play Tracer. Jimmu can play Pharah. They can run Yveltal on Mercy. They can run uh, either
Keo on
Keo,
Baptiste.
Molly, or Lengsa on Baptiste. And then they
Yeah,
can have one of their three other tanks to play Orisa. And they could excel with that. They could demolish people with that. Because they've already got plenty of synergy with their pharmacy combo with their ball. They've been practicing that for all of last season. So, they could probably, I don't know, do pretty well, catch some people off guard. Especially with these May nerfs just coming in. Ball will be very slightly stronger. So,
would you like to repeat what the main nerfs are?
the May nerfs, the free speed, um, sorry, your speed when you're being frozen is no longer 30% through 90%. It's now 20% through 70%, I think. And the
Okay.
time you're frozen for or the time that you're being slowed for is no longer 1.5 seconds, it's only 1 second. Which basically
Yeah.
means characters that can move faster have more time to get away, and also when they're being slowed down, they're being slowed for less time. So,
Yeah, but
which can help.
apparently May is still incredibly
I
prominent in the
mean,
meta.
I'm pretty sure the meta has not changed at all,
Yeah,
but Ball has got very slightly better, I think, due to this change. And then
yeah,
also with Hanzo's arrows being less fast moving, the Farah is a lot stronger as well. Unless you switch to hit scans, because I think that's also more usable now. Um,
yeah.
but anyway,
Okay.
so
Let's go into your number 19.
that's why you have 19. My 19 is Valiant. Now I've considered moving them up. I just don't see it. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. This is one of the teams for me that I'm just not sure about, because they've done this big rebuild.
Mhm.
Obviously, they've really recently picked up some good talent that was definitely not leaked by another podcast, forcing them to announce it now. Um,
And they still haven't announced one part of it.
yeah, well, we don't know the nature of it, so. But anyway,
Apparent. Okay. No, no. We will say it now. Apparently, Slur is being dropped from the roster, and apparent rumors are it's like the funny Astro situation in Boston. There's apparently going to be a lengthy suspension for Slur, and Valiant just thought it's better if we just drop him.
hmm, okay. So anyway,
That's what I've seen.
so KSF is moving back to a flex DPS. That's one thing. So then we've got pretty strong DPS line. Uh, I'd say KSP KSF. What a great duo that I feel will exist. But
Yeah.
if it's not, then it'll be KSP and Apply, and then KSF and Shax will duo together. But I feel like Shax might be pulled in mostly to play more niche heroes such as Sombra, that he was quite good at.
Mm,
And then you've got
he'll be
KSP
more
will
like
be the,
Tracer.
I think, yeah, like that sort of thing. And KSP will be like the Widow specialist of the team.
Widow Hanzo.
Yep, those sort of heroes. And then Apply, I guess. Well, I'm not sure out of these members who the best May player is. Um,
KSF.
Yeah,
KSF is the
I
best.
guess it would have to be KSF.
He didn't get to show it last season because he was forced onto Reaper and Agility's played
And Hanzo, he was
May.
pretty good Hanzo too.
Oh, he was very good at Hanzo. So I think it'll be KSF, KSB. Can't wait to hear the commentators.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep, I can't wait for it.
all all of these players can play Widow to a high level. Um,
Pretty interesting.
yeah.
Maybe not apply, but the other three can, definitely.
No. Apply can. Apply can.
Okay. Well, okay.
I was
Then
watching
then
stream and he is nutty at Widow as well.
okay. Then we move to the tanks. Um,
The
Dreamer.
weak part.
I'm not sure if Dreamer would play over
Dreamer's
Div
not
now.
going to play, but he
I
is
don't think
funny
he
as
would.
heck.
And then McGravy. Um, I'm a McGravy fan, but I don't feel like he's that good. I feel like
Well,
there's obviously a lot of good players. There's a lot of good
he's never got
left
the
tanks.
chance to show if he's good
He
in
hasn't got the
Overwatch League.
chance to show he's good. I'm not sure how flexible he is. He's pretty good at Diva,
He can
but I'm not
he
sure
can
how
play
well he can play
every
these.
off tank.
Well, yes, but I don't know how well he can play them.
Like well,
That's the thing.
like his Hog is very good. That's what he gets to be in Hog one trick for
Hog's
four
pretty
seasons.
easy, but yeah. Um,
Um, his Zarya I haven't seen. His Diva's very good. We haven't seen his Sigma, but like I was listening to the Tactical Crouch podcast with Packing 10, and McGravy's also apparently going to fill that Custer hole, like of leadership, positivity, and apparently he also popped off on Sigma. So
I can see him being the captain, yeah, like the captainish role, I guess.
yeah,
Um,
and also Dreamer is a great personality. There was a cheater on a player's game, and everyone was tilting, and Dreamer just said, "No, he's just better than everyone." It was actually funny.
that's
Um,
pretty interesting. And then we'll get to the support line. Got Slow, who's probably going out, so I'm going to ignore him. Then we got Lastro and Rain. I don't know about these. I don't know about Lastro. I've heard a lot of good
oh,
things. I've heard a
oh,
lot of good things. But for
mainly from
Rain,
me.
I'm not sure about him. Um,
Okay.
he's
When did I first saw Lastro in season 3 of 2018 Contenders on I think it was Stormquake or O2 Blast. Can't remember. Yeah, it was Stormquake when he was with Kaiser. And back then I even thought he was nutty. Like the amount of bio nades this man hit, like there were like 4 or 5 mad bio nades. It was just incredible. And his Zen is also so good. Like he was compared to Jonak, but back then by Wolf and Achilles, and he continued. He even just got better on Sky Foxes, and yeah, he will
hmm,
be a top support. And Rain, he was good for O2 Blast. Um, where and
I
what
don't
else?
know if
Yeah,
his time at Mayhem will have harmed him because
yeah, but
he
now
spent some time with Mayhem and didn't play very much. So
yeah.
I'm not sure if he's been like out of practice, I guess is what you could say.
Well,
So
he's the only main support on this roster, so he will probably
he'll
be
have to
in
be good.
practice. Yeah, he'll have to
um,
have had practice.
okay, so what I have here
Also,
is yeah,
Valiant's coaching staff is
yeah, Valiant have good
pro
coaching staff. Um,
like packing 10 will make this the hardest working team in the league. Like what he did with Valiant in from stages 2 to 3 last season was incredible, and also Stoop is an incredible coach. Reprise is very good, and Goomba was really key to Valiant in stage 4, season 1, where they won. Like that coaching staff is incredible.
okay, as the Australian fact account owner, I have a bit of bias towards Goomba. However, I will say one thing. Um, although he doesn't control the team, he didn't seem to really know how to play the meta for World Cup because it seemed like Australia, a team that had really good promise, just seemed to fall apart. Not really know what they were doing. But once
Yeah.
again, he doesn't control the team here. That is Packing 10's job. So anyway, but I feel like this team Valiant could do pretty well. However, I just I just couldn't bring myself to moving them up for the moment. I mean, maybe now with the new additions of Gig and KSP, maybe I could move
Oh
them
yeah,
up.
we didn't even talk about Gig, who was a very good main tanker.
Yeah, Gig was pretty good. Well, I
Like
accepted that Gig was pretty good.
I got into a Twitter fight with someone, I can't remember who said Gig was trash and got carried. Gig was making so many plays, and even on chicken contenders, if he had died, it was because the team was making call outs for him to go aggressive. They weren't following, like keeping him alive, like Titans with the bumper, so he'd die. Like, and he is a shot caller, he is a leader, he's also a Chad, so I don't see anything wrong with him.
Yeah, well,
And
what I
those
see
eyebrows.
and the eyebrows. Yeah, so going back to the community predictions, we've got Valiant at 19th and then Hunters at 13th. So that's where our two placements are. I think Valiant is way above Boston. I think Boston's just miles below.
Yeah.
And I feel like Valiant could easily beat a few of the lower teams. But I just couldn't bring myself to move them up. I didn't think very hard of it though. But anyway, so I think we should hold off on these two because we're very against each other on our predictions. So before we put them here, I think we should review the next few teams. And those will be, I think these are the same for us. Nope, they're different. We've got Eternal, and we've already talked about Valiant, but let's talk about Eternal.
Bruh, Eternal's very low for you.
Eternal, well, my problem with Eternal is their best player, probably Sparkle. He's not playing for like over half the season or something like that. I think it's 2/3 of the season he's out.
No,
So,
it has to be half. That the deadline is where stage 2 would end. That's when the
I
cutoff is.
don't
I
think
think
so.
it's around there.
I don't know if that's true. I think it's
Because
all.
you can't. You have to be
I don't know. I don't think it's.
of age for I think just over half of it. Otherwise,
I don't know. Well, anyway, looking at this record, that's the Element Mystic record. Pretty good. And this guy was known as the carry. So that's
he just made all the flashy plays. Like he was a very good player, but the rest of the team around him was also very good.
yeah.
Like he made all the flashy plays, so he got all the praise.
He was also
Not saying
known
he's
as the
bad.
best Doomfist in the world, so that's another thing.
Yeah, but that goes to Sinatra. And Huxell.
I wouldn't give it to Sinatra. I would give it to Huxell.
Bruh.
Well, if you think about it, like this situation that you're arguing for him, you're saying that the team around him was really good, which I'm saying the same thing for him. Same with Titans, but I feel like Huxell did more. But let's not
We'll
talk
save
about
this
that
argument
for now.
for Titans.
Yeah, we'll save that for later. We've got what's it called? This roster, it's like half Korean, and
Which
half
is funny.
half not Korean. I guess English
Half
speaking.
EU.
So
It's
yeah,
EU.
what
Yeah,
I have
so-
here, what I've thinking about this team, they've got Sparkle and Hanbin, both are underage. Hanbin's only out for like the first week. Sparkle's
And
out
they
for
have-
like half the season
And they have
though.
Smex. Yeah, Smex is also a very good main tank in its own right. So
Smex main tank? Hold on a minute.
No, off tank.
Off
Sorry.
tank.
Um,
Yeah, and then they've got
so
No Smite and Ben Bess. Now, I didn't really like No Smite that much, and
bro, you were the one who wanted him in your fantasy team.
and Ben Bess was the worst. I wanted No Smite on my fantasy team because Spark were doing well, and he looked like he was doing fine. But then
After
he
that
didn't.
one 5-man shatter against
See,
Valiant.
but then Gushwei started playing, and he was miles better.
Yeah.
And then No
'cause
Smite
Gushwei's
went
God.
down to Chinese contenders, and
Where he didn't play because there was already a set synergy between all of the Billy games.
yeah, so I
That's
I
why
don't know if he's
Barzi
played
didn't
much.
play. But
Yeah.
I reckon in scrims he would have like, and since he got released, he's obviously had trials, so he has played.
Yeah,
Ben Best
possibly.
garbage. Ben Best
Ben
garbage. We
Bess
can
is
agree.
terrible. I don't like him at all. Um, well, see, my
Han been
problem is,
incredibly okay.
yeah, they've got Soon, XZ, and Nico as their DPS that have to hang around until Sparkle becomes of age. So
Okay,
Nico's gonna have to play Mei, I guess. I don't know how good he is
I
at Mei, but
bro,
I
it's
don't,
hard to be bad at May. I know Decay managed it, but yeah,
I don't see. I don't know. I don't think. I don't like him on like any of his heroes really.
yeah, I
He's
don't
really
like
good
Nico
for
at all.
flexing for Diva, but
Yeah,
we can't do
if
that
if
anymore.
this was a dive meta, I would have been fine. He could play Genji, he could play his best
Yeah,
hero, he could
see,
play
but
Pharah,
he's
maybe.
not playing. He's not playing those heroes, which is my problem. Then you've got
But they
Soon, who
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 very
looks
good player.
he's pretty good, but he didn't look so good last season. Then Xe, he's pretty good.
Well,
Um,
soon didn't get the chance to
I'd say
like
Soon
when
and I'd say Soon and Xe are pretty similar. I don't know which one
yeah
of these is better at Hanzo though, because
yeah. Xe is a hits game nutter. He is so good at Widow, McCree, Tracer. It's just incredible. So and having two of those two players that can do that on your team will actually help both of them improve because it increases competition.
yeah. And then
That play.
we get to the support line with FD God just got picked up recently, and I think he's really good. He played very
Yeah,
good for France, and like
I wanted
he's really good.
him on Valiant, so that just
Yeah.
says everything.
And then they got Cruz, who was all right before. He
He's
looked
a
a lot
good
worse.
consistent main support. He tries to make plays even if his team doesn't follow it. He's a shot caller. He's a leader. I don't know what more you want. He can play no Baptiste comfortably, Mercy and Lucio.
Yeah, but I don't like the situation they have at flex support. They have Hip and Gray, who Hip was kind of compared to a lot of other flex supports, he was lacking probably. Um,
The issue with him was him and Cruz's synergy. They because Hip only played in goats, so when they played, they would constantly overlap support ults, and that was obviously an issue because goats if you grab and then use transcendence and beat at the same time, then bruh, like then they just chuck in earth shattering, you're gone.
mm, yeah, see, Hip was. I don't think Hip was that good. Gray, I also think he's
He's
not that good. He looked
no,
amazing when he could switch to Widow, but other than that,
bro. That's
he was
no.
never.
His
I'd say he
Ana
was
is
better than.
actually so good. His Ana
Yeah, his
is top
Ana's pretty
class.
good too, but
Like
this is
I'm
double
not
shield, mate.
convinced on
Ana
it.
is garbage.
Yeah, I'm not convinced on his Zen or
Yeah, I don't
Moira.
really like either of their play that much, but they have to choose one of them, and I don't know which one they'll choose.
Yeah,
Because like I guess in Ana meta, Gray could play Ana pretty easily, but I don't know who would play now. So I feel like this team is really going to struggle until Sparkle comes of age, but once that happens, they can probably go pretty good. No Smite will be able to improve over the season to catch up with a lot of the better ones again after having a
yeah,
break of not doing well.
because he's also yeah.
Yeah, and then soon and hopefully a meta will shift so that these Soon and Xe will be able to show off their true colours. Um,
Still don't know why they have Nico. Should have dropped him for Leaf.
yeah, yeah. Still don't like Nico. The problem is they've gone all in on Sparkle, but then
Yeah,
they haven't made a suitable backup until he gets of age. But there is one other thing we have to talk about. We've got the coaching staff. They've got 9K from Shock. They've got Rush from Element Mystic. Then they've got Aid and Levi, I think both from Toronto. So,
and a follow might help that here and there. But
no, Levi was from Dragons, right? Right, Dragons.
yeah, I said Avala might help here
Yeah,
and there.
and Avala from Justice. But,
Also, she's part Australian
yeah,
of the Aussies.
and New Zealand and stuff. It's yeah. Anyway, so they've got a pretty decent coaching staff, I'd say.
They have a very good coaching staff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how good Aid is as a coach, and then Levi looked pretty good as well. He
It, yeah.
seemed to do his work on.
And Rush is the reason
And then
Sparkle is on
Rush
high.
is also there.
Yeah.
I feel like the pairing of Rush and Sparkle could easily have
Is
gone to another team, but
yeah. Money speaks.
and this team. Well, I heard that they actually didn't pay that much for them, but they
Well,
were one
I
of
think
the
because
few
they also
teams. They were one of the few teams only going for both of them. And since Sparkle didn't want to go anywhere without Rush, so
and
well,
they
that's
also
what I've
took
heard.
Hambin and Exy.
Yeah.
That might also help.
Well, I feel like that was his decisions.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to number 17.
Anyway, but if we take a look at the predictions here, people think 17. They say Spitfire's under, but see, yeah. Anyway, I think we'll hold off on this again because we're kind of split on these predictions still.
Yeah.
Unless you think Valiant should go in one of these two spots.
We'll wait
if we're
for
doing our aggregate,
shock.
if we're doing our average, I would put them here because then.
We'll wait for shock facts.
Yep, I think that's not a bad idea. Boston can stay at the bottom, but
Yeah, no, we don't have to wait for that one.
Anyway, we'll move on to the number 17 spot, which I think is Spitfire for both of us. And
Correct.
This team, how to ruin
Bruh,
a
can I just
championship
ask,
caliber team.
who is Question, Jihun, Babel, or though? Like, bruh, who are they?
Sanguinar. Who are these people? Okay, so they I trust the coaching staff of this team very much. Okay, they've got Agape, head coach of the, they've got
Assistant coach of the old London
assistant
Spitfire
coach of the old
roster.
team. Awesome guy who was coach of
S&T, sorry, S&T.
S&T, awesome guy, same person. They're former player and coach for Mayhem. They got Pavan, head coach of the
Former
NYXL.
head coach of, and 2 years of the Korea team. Which actually won gold. Krusty hasn't managed that.
Yeah, I believe this coaching staff is really good, and I can trust them. However, their roster I cannot trust.
We forgot Twinkle.
Yeah.
Which we don't know much about. Let's start with tanks.
So anyway, starting with the tanks, yeah. J-Mac, I don't know much about, and Jihan Clister, I don't know anything about, and Benar is really good.
Yes, so, I rate Benar.
Benar is a really good pickup for them. I'm sure one of these tanks, I don't even know who plays who. This is a ball Orisa specialist.
Yeah. So J-Mac, I'm going to argue it's an improvement on Gesture. Not overall, just for his flexibility. Like he can be an improvement.
Gesture did have his problems of being an Orisa Winston 2-trick.
J-Mac was good on Ryan. Can be good on Orisa. Don't know about his Winston, but from what I've heard, it's actually pretty decent. Ball, they apparently have a ball 1-trick, 2-trick. Ball Orisa 2 tricks.
Exactly what you need in this meta, really.
Yeah.
But
Collision. We're not going to talk about Cluster and Jihan because we don't know much about them.
I don't know much about them, but we'll save DPS for last because that's something special. But we've got supports. Fuse, another decent player. From Fuse. Where was he from?
Fusion Uni,
right?
And Genji. Yeah. He never impressed me on Genji. No, and Fusion Uni. I always thought Elk looked better alongside that roster than he did. He always seemed disjointed,
But I can trust him more than some of these other pickups.
Yeah, Sanguinar. Yeah.
Now I heard somewhere that Krillin and Sanguinar used to be teammates.
It was on one of No, it wasn't even on Genji's academy. It was just an open div.
This is Gen B.
No, it wasn't even on
Gen B beat Gen A. That's great.
No, this wasn't on Gen be
I don't
or
know.
anything.
I don't remember when they were teammates, but they were once
It
teammates
it was
apparently.
before Krillin joined London. It
So
was just a random open div team.
so
Yeah,
Krillin
from
was
what?
the only player that they kept from last year, and
Yeah,
supposedly they wouldn't let him go. So
yeah.
maybe this
He
guy is pretty good, I guess. He was behind
he.
Bedosen, and Bedosen I feel like was a really good player, so
Okay.
it's
From
I
what we
feel he
saw of
deserved to
him,
stay benched. But
um, he was pretty good. Didn't have the synergy with the rest of the team that comes from playing every match. Um,
yeah, yeah, obviously.
but overall, he is probably what he is Agape's pet project, just like KSF was for Moon.
Hmm. Um,
I think that's the best way to put it.
but either way, if he doesn't play, Hiley does play. Now Hiley, I feel like he was fine with Dynasty.
So
Whenever Jaehong wasn't playing, he was playing, and he seemed to perform just as well as Jaehong.
he seemed
So
average.
yeah,
He never did anything incredible, but he never did anything really bad.
yeah.
Like,
So
and he was just in the middle, which I think is fine if you want a roster in 17th, but you want your flex support, especially in Zinyan, to make those plays, to get those long distance right clicks. But
yep,
he seemed to try, but like get it occasionally. But yeah,
yeah. So I'd say Hiley or Krillin could start. I don't know who they would start, or if they're gonna pull a Soul Dynasty and then just have two rosters.
bro,
Because that's also possible. But
Jesus Christ.
now let's get to the DPS line. They have
Let's start with Babylon also. We know nothing about them.
yeah, I have
Okay,
no idea who this person is, and I have no
okay,
idea who this person is.
but we'll save
I don't.
Glister
This
for last.
apparently no one knows what these two play. Oh, this guy's a
So
Widow player. Never heard of him
Shui,
still. But
Shui.
Shui, and Glister.
I,
These two
I,
guys. These two guys.
I will talk about Shui because I've watched him the most
Mhm.
because I am a Runaway fan. He was a former Runaway player. He
He
was
was
mainly on
benched for
Runaway.
Yankee. I remember. I
No,
know
no,
that much.
he was there from season 3 of 2018 to season 2, like halfway through. Where he just mainly played Brig, and when he was allowed to play DPS, he never convinced me. His
Hmm.
Pharah just never worked. His Genji, his I think that's all he played. Just never really looked
See,
that good.
yeah. But then we've got this other guy here, which
Lister,
I've
okay,
heard
here's
is
the
a
sub.
potential Rookie of the Year candidate.
Yeah, he's a god. He can play everything. He can play Widow. He can play Genji. He can play Doomfist.
Play Doomfist.
Um,
This guy will be the real carry of the team,
yeah,
and he's not underage. In fact, he's actually available for the first game, so
that's good.
he's going to be well. Not I'm not mean even his game. He's the first games are in February. His birthday's in January, so he's fine.
Pog, happy birthday for him if we don't do a podcast before.
Yeah,
High
well,
chance considering how it's gone.
yeah. Well, it's in 7 days, so
Ah,
happy birthday in 7 days. And he will probably demolish people when he gets to the league.
yeah, but he
So
could be a sire play situation. Team's bad. He could.
yeah, so I feel like a combination of Bernard and Glister will somehow pull
Make
them
his
ahead
team
of everyone else.
somewhat okay.
Yeah. I actually don't know how they'll perform in this meta because I don't. They seem to have Orisa and ball players, which can help them run that comp. I have no idea if Bernard's good at Sigma or not. Um,
We
like we
couldn't
have,
see him in Gauntlet and stuff,
it's
so
apparently one of his signature heroes. So
we could not see any Fusion Uni players in Gauntlet because Runway absolutely smoked them.
anyway, so I don't know how good he is at that, but considering he's been pretty good at other heroes, I can imagine he might be able to adapt.
Yeah,
And then
but
Glister,
he
like
was
you said, can play everything, so I imagine it doesn't
bruh.
matter.
One memory I have from Bernard specifically, I think it was against Atlanta in the season 3 final. He played Sim and popped off.
Well, that's great. Flexibility is great in this time.
This 2-2-2 meta.
Yep. Anyway, um, so
Should we move to our number
this
16?
team has potential to be really good. Also
Or
has
really
potential to be
bad?
really, really bad.
No in between.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I don't think there really is a in between, and people seem to think that they'll become 18th. So
Yeah.
these
We're in
guys,
17th.
they'll sit nice and low. Now, I think we should probably fit Spitfire in 17th or 18th.
Yeah.
If we keep aggregates up, then we'll.
They should be in 17th.
Oh yeah, I'll put him in there. I have no idea what I've done to manage.
You screwed up the format. Okay.
Don't worry, I fixed it. Okay.
For us, number
Anyway,
16th team.
16. I don't even remember who I put here. Oh yeah, I put Defiant.
I put Outlaws. To be fair, if
Okay.
I'd do it again, I would swap them in Dallas.
So I think we'll start with Defiant. Defiant, they've obviously gone the marketing route. Pick up popular players, Canadian players,
Not just
and then
popular, they're pretty good.
some of them are pretty good. However, I feel like this roster has problems. Well, rather, sorry, not have problems, but probably is not as good as other rosters.
Problems could arise, yeah. In one situation, could be main tank.
Could be main tank. People are saying that Mr. Beast is going to be the worst player, the worst main tank for this season. It's possible.
No, that is saved
if you
for
ignore Ben
a
Best.
Dallas main tank.
What? If you ignore Ben Best and any other benched tank, I guess, for a starting main tank, he is possibly the worst.
Put some respect on Beast Taylor's name. He won, I think, two contenders titles with Fusion Uni when they were dominant.
But you have to remember that's where you had players like Benar, Alarm, Who Are You, absolutely dominating everyone else.
Actually, his first one was with Cracklacking. And he just had such a good Winston. He even pulled it out in Korean contenders and somehow built ult within 2 seconds.
Well, I've heard that I haven't seen too much of his play, but I have heard that for the most part, it seems to be that he was being carried by his team. But he was being serviceable. He was being okay.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't feeding, and then being saved by god tier teammates.
Yeah. Another issue I have with this roster is Nevix could be overhyped.
I think Nevix is way overhyped. I think
he's a good player in his own right.
Yeah, I think he's still a good player.
Yeah.
And he's got praise from Krusty, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but everyone seems to either think he's trash, or he's
but I think people are painting him as absolute god tier.
Yeah.
So, which I don't think is true. And also, they have no backups for either of these two. So if they do fall off, but I'm gonna quickly jump down to the coaches here, because their head coaches come straight from Paris, who, if you if you didn't know, they didn't go very well, and so I don't trust them at all. And then let's go to their support line. They've got, I don't like Kalex. I've always had a thing against him. It may be no longer warranted. He seems to have gotten better since what I remember.
No.
I remember him being like the weakest.
Your issue was him on Boston in playoff, because Boston's strategy was, for some reason, use the Mercy as bait, let him die, then we attack. And so you always you kept thinking
seemed really, really bad. Like, surely someone would have realized that wasn't a great idea. And
this was Huck coaching. You don't have bad ideas. You just Huck ideas.
Yeah, okay, but I feel like they I don't know. I just didn't like it because it seemed like he could do that, and he could do the bait thing in another way other than just dying every time. But
Um,
otherwise,
in
he
in
hasn't just
season
been.
two, he was pretty good.
Yeah, it was all right. Um,
One of the better players on a shit Boston team.
yeah.
Now onto the Roki. So according to
Roki's a pretty good player. He's super flexible, but
yeah,
he's on a two-way contract, so he's probably not going to play that much.
according to Ablis in an interview, who is the manager of Toronto and Montreal
He's
Rebels,
also a coach
which
as
is
well, I'm pretty sure,
yeah,
or partner coach.
he can play every support, and I think he is the flex support for um Montreal, but he has shown he can play good main support in Overwatch League.
Yeah, so yeah.
Also, I will take control of the Krev one, so you cannot insult my
Oh no,
boy.
don't worry. I'm not insulting him at all. I'm praising him as a I'd say, well, last
So
season, easy top five. Um,
yeah, so okay. First of all,
this
Krev is
season
the
with the addition of Alarm and such,
yeah.
little less, but still really good.
So um,
And go
can
away.
I?
You praise
Okay.
all you go crazy.
So first of all, Krev is extremely babbo, but he's also a god
Yes.
flex support.
Mhm.
Bear in mind, this man is underrated. He has been the backup flex support for Canada the past two World Cups. Like
For
the man,
you mean for
like
Korea?
that, yeah, for Korea. So he was ahead of Twilight. He was ahead of Violet,
Well,
and and Krusty was even coaching that team.
that's
And
weird. See, I thought for the Korean World Cup team, I thought Bedosen, um, Bedosen was really consistent. I feel, um, and I would have preferred him in the World Cup beforehand because then he could have actually flexed because he was also really good at flexing. But anyway, um, Jonak didn't want to compete. Um,
yeah, no, so
Twilight
did
was
Sam.
supposedly only good with Slime, and Krusty didn't want him because of that, because he didn't want to pick up Slime either. Um,
Don't know
and
why.
then Violet, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I assume, um, I assume something to do with alting, I guess.
Also, Karev was one of the only Valiant players. I think the only one to receive a role star last year, which is top five in the entire role.
Oh yeah, well
Mainly,
that's
yeah,
yeah.
mainly due to his incredible Ana play
I think a
and
lot of it
that
came from that Titans game.
and Shanghai.
Hmm.
Um,
So
bear in mind his Zen play is also very good.
yeah, he's also really good at Zen. That bench
He
situation
yeah,
from season one was, well, not bench, but
season two,
flexing situation. Season two, yeah, that was a little weird.
season one and two.
Everything was the flexing thing for both seasons a little weird. He was
Yeah,
all right at DPS and all right at Zarya, but he had problems. KSF was easily better at Zarya. Um,
yeah,
but flex support's obviously his best role. So,
yeah.
um,
Shit.
but anyway, I'm gonna move on to the DPS now. Um,
Okay,
I don't really like this lineup that much.
I
Now,
like one player.
I know which player you like, and I'm going to say I'm sorry, but I feel like I don't like him that much.
Bro, I'm wearing my Agilities jersey right now. I'm going to
Okay, I'm
fucking
gonna start with
roast you.
Mangachu. I'm gonna start with Mangachu. I doubt he's just gonna play at all.
Second worst DPS player now.
Yeah, I guess so. You could say that. But I
He's
think
only ahead of
agilities,
Jerry.
and for the reason that you keep saying, he's not good when he has to flex. He's
No,
much better when he gets to play what he wants.
yeah.
So
Like
if it's a Genji
when he
meta,
gets to play hero
if it's a Genji meta, or if it's like a strong Pharah meta, then
or
he'll be a
even a
lot better.
Doomfist meta.
Possibly Doom, yeah, it'd be a lot better.
No. He's such a good Doom. But to be fair, he did improve on Brig over time. So maybe that's what he could be doing with his main.
Yeah, but
And
I think he
I
was,
think yeah.
but I think he was the worst Brig at the beginning of the season. So,
Yeah, no, at the beginning of the season he was.
but like,
Actually no.
anyway,
Third ring
and
still exists.
His May was all right as well. Um,
Yeah.
but
But there was a
I
lot.
feel like he'd be a lot better in a Genji meta. We go back to that.
I think everyone can agree with this.
Yep.
But he is probably going to be benched and play when the heroes suit him because Shawful can actually play flex DPS heroes very well,
So yeah,
despite the common opinion.
I've heard that the actual
I had this argument on Reddit.
yeah, I've heard that the actual well from their manager
Jay,
Jason or whatever his name is. I
great
don't know how to
GM.
pronounce it. Just Jay. That
Yeah,
Logix and Surefour are the starting lineup.
no,
And
they could be a lineup.
well,
He's,
I heard that. Well, I thought he said that that was their um, well, they were
but
playing
then
that a lot.
that's a
So
leak, and yeah,
the leak from his own scrims from his own team. So
bro, this is Custer level.
he was in a interview where he chose to answer the question that way. But anyway, um, so Logix is a pretty good player. If you remember XL2, he was popping off there. He was also really good on
No,
Mayhem Season
no,
1.
no, 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 no. He was not good at XL2 because he was forced to Zarya, and he was not a good Zarya.
No, but when he was not playing Zarya, he was
Bro,
destroying,
no,
which is
he
going
was
to be a
only there.
which is going to be a lot closer to what
Even on
we're going to
Toronto,
see.
he was so good. Like that Houston clip.
Mm.
Like everyone knows
Yeah.
what I'm
Anyway.
talking about.
Oh, and then the Justice one that was pretty funny as well.
Oh, yeah,
The
that's funny, bro.
switching that was
He
pretty
can
funny.
switch heroes so quick.
It's not actually that hard, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah,
Um.
but I'm also an idiot, so yeah.
Okay. And then Surefour, I really rate Surefour though. I feel like he has a really good Widow. He's got pretty good other hit scan heroes, but he won't be able to play um, very well. I don't
Yeah,
think he'd play very well in this meta because I think he might have played Mei at one
he's a
point
good
for Gladiators. I'm not
he is a
sure.
better
Don't
Mei
pretend.
than Decay.
Possibly. Well,
Right.
that's
The
what I
only
thought at first, but
the only
I've
reason
heard.
Decay was playing Mei is because neither of the other two could play Reaper
Hmm.
and Hanzo.
No, but see, I've heard that Decay was considered one of the best Meis, but I thought that was wrong. But anyway,
And it proved to be.
well, I heard this at the end of the season, so
Bro, that's just wrong. Okay.
anyway.
Should we get on to my number 16?
Well, well, I'm just gonna say one final thing that this DPS line is alright. It's pretty good, I guess. Um, support line's also pretty good. Tank line, don't trust it. This team can be very good, but I feel like they're going to be consistently near the middle and towards
Yeah,
the bottom.
I literally have them.
Okay,
Oh
let's
wait,
get
no,
to...
I'm not gonna say where I have.
And people, I feel like a lot of these predictions came before people started to... during the hype of them picking up all these players, so... Like, if you were to notice that a lot of these players, they picked up... You've got Defiant a lot near the top here, but as we move along, you've got Defiant in a lot more of these lower places. Might be a bit hard to see, but Defiant is predicted a lot lower for the newer predictions. Anyway, so going back to Houston now. Well, while we're here, Houston's in 14th prediction, and they have made a pretty good off season. They've done some pretty good moves.
I forgot to do this, but if I had my time again, I would swap Dallas and Houston. But since it's too late, we're doing this podcast. I have to stick with this team. So they've made some big signings.
They've made some pretty good signings, yeah.
Buying decent Koreans. I know this is new for them. They aren't Western players. They can't just speak English straight away.
Especially considering all of these have only played on Korean only rosters. So, well, Meko was decent at speaking English. I have no idea about the other two though.
Jack say it was good whenever I heard him in someone's ranked. Okay. And I don't know much about Rappel. So let's start with the DPS.
DPS. So we've got Dante, Blase, Hydration, and Linksa. Now
Okay.
I've heard that Hydration could possibly actually be playing main tank. And this
Well,
is coming from their head coach and
no,
then
their
some
manager.
leaks. Yeah, and
Okay.
then some leaks. Um
Um, yeah, but he could be playing Orisa, or he can be playing Sigma. Like he played Sigma for um Glad slot in playoffs. He's played Orisa
Glad's
before.
was just really weird in general. Everyone was dancing around all over the place.
But somehow
But if
beats Spark.
Hydration gets to be the actual flex DPS, I think he's better than Blase, and
Yeah.
he can be really good on some niche heroes such as Doomfist. Um,
Like his Doomfist against NYXL and Stage
he's
4 last year in Gibraltar. I just remember that
yeah, I
dominating
can
on
remember. I
second
remember
place.
his Doomfist plays in all of season one towards the end, where he was unkillable on Doom. No
Yeah.
one could deal with him, and then they would win every Gibraltar game because he would just sit there in the first point and never die.
No, it was the second point where you can only go through his
Mm.
four entrances, so he would just destroy.
Anyway, so that was good. Dante, he's good at Sombra and Tracer.
He's
I
turned
feel like,
into a very flexible player.
yeah,
He can
he's
play
has to
most
play a lot
heroes.
more now.
Yeah,
But I feel like he's best at Sombra and Tracer easily.
yeah,
Um, then you got Linksa, who's pretty much just a Widow Kree 2-trick. Doesn't play much else.
but yeah, he'll be the
He can
dedicated
kind
hit
of play
scan on this
Genji. I've
team.
seen his Genji in comp. So
But,
he's pretty alright at that.
Lynx's issue is he needs consistency because he shows up about 30, like a third of the time, and
Yeah.
like when he doesn't show up, you know he doesn't show up because you just don't see him. That is his issue. Like if he fixes that up, and maybe him not being one of the two DPS players on this roster, like he has three other people who can help him. Maybe that will help finally fix this issue.
Yep. Yep. And now I want to move on to the tanks here. So we've got
We've got
potentially
Blase.
Hydration. We've got Muma, Spree, and Meko. Now
We've got
so before I talk about Meko, I'll preface this with many people seem to think that there is no leader on this team, and they're signing Koreans that won't fit with the team. Now,
They
I can
obviously
see why
have
they're
a
saying
plan.
this. They've got Harsha coming from the Titans, who's just worked
That
with an all Korean roster.
and
So
Repel.
yeah, and then Rappel himself, who is coming into this team, but we'll talk to him later. But anyway, I'll start off at main tank. You got Muma, who I thought towards the end of the season was starting to fall off. Like he was a lot better in season
All,
one than
all of
season two, I'd say.
all of Houston did that.
Well, yes, but I'd say in season one especially, he was a lot better. Now he's a lot less good. He might he might become a really good ball. I mean, I could see it Muma
His ball is
Hydration as
so
ball.
good on spring.
Yeah, he's really good
Yeah.
at ball, so I could see him being the ball player, while
Um,
ball hydration Muma as the tank line is possible.
bro, that,
And then you got Spree, who I doubt will ever play,
unless it's Zarya meta.
unless it's specifically like a Zarya meta on King's Row, in which he might play. And then
Yeah.
Blase can play
No, he
Diva,
will
but no.
play.
And then you've got Meko, who can obviously play very
Who
well. He's
he's just gonna be
obviously
he should be the starting off tank. When he
he was a top tier.
like
In
his
season
Sigma
one,
and playoff.
he was probably the second best behind Fury, and then the next season it was a lot.
Drop,
Well, there's a lot more
dropped off,
competition.
but he's still very high on me after
Yeah,
that playoff run with
I would say he was still probably, I don't know, top
top
five.
four.
I'd say.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
don't know where he would place in that top five. I just know it's probably not top three. You've got
but
obviously you got Choi,
if he can
Janu,
play
Fury, but anyway.
if he can play Diva, Hog, or Sigma, he's
Yeah, he
they,
was
if
one.
it,
He
they
was probably. I think he had the best the Sigma stats, in
I
you
think
know, for
throughout all the
for the
games.
first few rounds.
Yeah, and then
And
Choi.
then Choi took over, obviously, but well, I think he took over at least.
Yeah.
Um,
Supports.
yeah,
So,
so that's pretty solid. And then supports we got Repel, Jexay, and Boink, and also Raucous. So I think one thing that was funny was imagining the Repel Boink line. That was really funny to me.
oh,
But
that was
luckily
good.
they signed Jexay to
Like we all knew that
redeem
would.
that.
And
So
Jexay and
Jexay
Rappel
Repel should start. I
they
think
have
they'd
previous
have to be
synergy on
both
Element
on Element
Mystic,
Mystic. Yep.
the original one before it all got ripped apart and
Mhm.
right before season 2. Um,
And then
but yeah,
so that's pretty good. And then I think Repel is the better Zenyatta easily. Raucous he makes some
struggles.
really weird decisions on Zenyatta, and
We all remember him falling off the map on
falling
Bosco.
off the map, flanking on
Just being
Ilios for some reason,
just
just doing
being
a lot of
bad.
really weird stuff. Um,
Yeah. His Ana and Moira are
so I feel
good.
like he could be better at Ana than Repel. I don't
We
know
haven't seen much
if
of
that's
Repel.
yeah. We didn't see much of Repel. His Zen was alright. Whenever he switched in, he was able to um, play just fine, filling Twilight's hole. So I feel like that was, you know, that says something when you're subbing out Twilight and still doing just fine. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
Had the best Zen stats in the league for a while, partially because he didn't play much.
yeah, that's fair, but I feel like Raucous could easily be the starting Ana player because he popped off during World Cup, and he
Yeah.
was playing a lot of Ana then,
And Moira.
surprisingly. And then Moira. I don't know if he's better at Moira or not. He probably could
Yeah,
be.
Moira is easy.
Jaxay last season was supposed to be the best main support coming out of
But then like
being
if
picked
he
up, but
gets the
then
chance to create starting a duo with someone, like he didn't get a chance. It was always him subbed out. Toby or Rouge Hong subbed out for Hailey or
it, yeah, but it was mostly him and Toby rotating. But
yeah. So it didn't give him the chance. But yeah, he should start all the time. Boink Boink is kind of
yeah, Boink. He's
bad.
a Lucio one
Like
trick, and I don't even think he's that good at Lucio.
yeah.
So that was my
Okay,
problem.
there. Yeah.
And I think
So there.
that's all there really is to say about Houston. Their coaching staff is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
They've got
Brother,
two
they're
former
gonna win.
players.
They're gonna win the league. They're gonna win the league. They have
Oh
Hureg.
yeah, they do have Harsha, so
No, they have
that's not what I.
Hureg.
Sorry, Hureg. So they're pretty much guaranteed. Like
Finals minimum.
yeah, they're guaranteed
Alright, grand
finals
final.
minimum. But other than
Uh,
that, they've got Dream, who's pretty good. They've got Harsha, who's still pretty good. Then
please
they've got
kill Cool Matt.
Clockwork and Cool Matt, both previous players, so they have pretty good
And
experience.
from what Flame said on Twitter, Cool Matt took
Oh, and yeah, and Cool
a
Matt is
pay
a
down.
very nice guy. Cool
So
Matt is a very nice
effect,
guy.
you should feel bad.
Yep. Anyway, so that's that. And I feel like that's plenty of time for our first section of this power ranking. Obviously,
Yes.
we're missing our third member,
Yeah.
and we can continue this at a later date. But and then at our next attempt, we'll get to look into these 5 predictions, and then
Yeah.
you know, that's it. So
Okay. Thank you very much. We don't know what platforms this will be on,
probably
so
just it'll be on my YouTube channel.
okay.
But I don't
Remember,
know if we
and
go on iTunes
we'll
or
put
anything.
we'll put everyone's Twitter links in the description below. So make sure you follow that, hit subscribe and like, and make sure to share this video. Okay. Goodbye.